Guys, I'm back. I know, I've been away for a while, but a man's got to work, has to provide for his family and make sure that everybody's okay. But I also needed to take a bit of time to think about whether or not this channel means what I thought it would mean, whether it was doing what I thought it would do, and whether or not it made sense for my ministry. I've had some time to think about that, and I think I've changed it a little bit. You would have seen the banner looks a little bit different, the icon looks a little bit different, because this is the channel that I want to use to encourage men. I want to use the channel not just to talk about cricket, but to talk about real issues that we go through, what it is we're trying to achieve, and are we really using the best methods to do that. So if you're willing to come on this ride with me, it's a slightly different road, but I think we'll have a bit of fun together. Let's get into it. Why did the umpire bring a piece of string to the game? Because he wanted to tie the match. Okay, I know, it's bad. It's bad. Some things change, some things just stay the same. Comment below, give me a few of your dad jokes. Help me improve, guys. Help me improve. Let's have a good conversation today. We've got a really interesting topic. Without further ado, welcome to the Groundsmen. Let's get into it. Let's talk about Marais Erasmus and why his story can be a case study for every young man trying to find his way through life. We all grow up dreaming of being that guy. You know, guy hitting the winning runs, the guy taking the fiver, the man walking off the field with the crowd screaming his name. But what happens when that dream doesn't quite pan out? For a lot of guys, that's when the bitterness sets in. They walk away, they hang it up. But Erasmus, he took a different route. For those that don't know, before he was an absolute legend in the white hat, he was an all-rounder for Boland back in the 90s. He was a solid pro. But let's be real, he wasn't going to set the international stage on fire as a player. When his playing days ended, he had a choice. Walk away and find a 9-to-5, or find something else to do in the game. He chose the latter. He traded in his hat for an umpire's counter. He didn't just decide to umpire, he decided to find the best version of himself through the game he loved. Now we all know, playing the game and umpiring the game are two very different things. Umpiring the game requires maturity, awareness, and an ability to be the invisible hand that maintains order, but doesn't control the game so much that no one enjoys themselves. And let's not forget making the right calls. Anyone who's played club cricket knows what a disaster it can be to have player umpires. Erasmus realized his greatest contribution was going to come from facilitating the success of others, rather than seeking the spotlight for himself. Now think about what it actually takes to be an elite umpire. We're out there for 5 days in the heat. You're managing the biggest egos in world sports, guys who are stressed, angry, and coming at you and appealing for absolutely everything. And your job is to be the calmest guy in the room. You have to serve the truth of the game, enforce the rules, and do it without making it about you. If you have a perfect day at the office, no one even notices you were there. How many of us can honestly say we are willing to put in a world-class effort, knowing the best outcome is if people forget we were even there? Now, Erasmus won the ICC Umpire of the Year 3 times because players respected his quiet, firm authority. He wasn't a dictator on the field, he was a steward.
Say, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
With all that being said, let's talk about the darker side of leadership. What happens when you mess up on the biggest stage possible? Let's look back to the 2019 World Cup final, England versus New Zealand, the absolute highest pressure match in modern cricket history, where
goes again. Can he give the strike away? This is a big moment. They've got to run. They go to the other end. Oh, he gets in the way. This is going to go all the way to the boundary off the bat.
Where there was that infamous 6 overthrows incident with Ben Stokes. Technically, by the absolute letter of the law, it was a mistake. It should have been 5 runs. Erasmus and his partner had to make a split-second call in the cauldron of noise and chaos. Now, in today's world, when a man makes a mistake, the instinct is to hide. We deflect, we blame the system, we point fingers. We are so terrified of losing respect that we put up a wall. But Erasmus owned it. He admitted to the human error. He didn't hide behind the badge or throw a tantrum. This brings me to a heavy point for all of us. We carry so much pressure to be perfect. As fathers, as partners, as career men, we think if we drop the ball, we lose our manhood. We buy into this idea that only the strong survive by never showing weakness or admitting fault. But is it really the strong who survive? Or is it the accountable? Erasmus showed that true respect isn't built on being flawless. It's built on integrity. It's built on looking people in the eye and saying, I missed that one. I'll be better tomorrow. When he did that, the cricket world didn't cancel him. They respected him even more. So, you might ask me, what does this have to do with you? Well, everything. Maybe your original dream didn't pan out. Maybe you're not the CEO or the pro athlete or the guy everyone is cheering for right now. But that's fine. Find your umpire's hat. Find that place where you can serve with excellence, where you can be the calm in the middle of the storm, and where you can help build up the men around you without needing to be the center of attention. One of the kingdom principles that I use when things don't go according to plan is the principle of change. You cannot reach a new destination using an old map. Transformation, real change, only happens through the renewal of your thought process. Take time to consider, what has God added to your arsenal that can get you to the next stage? To all the young men coming up and all the legends out there trying to figure out how to navigate life with all its pitfalls, serve the truth. Honor your calling. Own your mistakes. And if the pressure gets too high, talk to your brothers. Reach out. Don't carry the load on your own. And never, ever forget to pray. Till next time.